And now, here's the Boomer and the Babe, Pete Peters and Deborah Brown.
So Lionel, here we are in absolute beauty, frankly, sitting here in the rocks and trees, which is not our usual place to go, at least not mine, but I think it probably is more yours, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean, I absolutely love nature, so hanging out in nature is always a fun thing for me.
Hanging out in the rocks and trees works for you?
Absolutely.
Well, tell me, what is it about it that makes you feel good or makes you feel connected to something that's bigger than yourself?
You know something, I mean, there's a connection when you actually sit around in the trees. I mean, you realize a lot about trees. First of all, they're very much like us. You can learn a lot from just watching them and just really understanding what goes on with them. And I don't know, it kind of makes me feel connected, you know, it kind of makes me realize that there's a whole lot more out there than just me.
You know, when you said that about watching the trees and kind of getting an idea from the trees about your own personal, what you think and stuff, your mindset, your groundedness, your you're how you reach out to people, like branches of trees. I mean, does that kind of work in what you go through when you're framing something for someone to help them?
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's a lot of times where I use analogies about trees when I'm working with clients to be able to help them really understand how things work. You know, because everyone can relate to trees. Everyone understands them. Everyone sees them. Everyone knows they're there, but they don't necessarily pay attention to what they do. So when you can bring that to light, it really changes the perspective.
It just made me think of something so cool, and that is when you plant seeds, you watch what grows, right? So I think that's what some of your speeches and your workshops and how you work with people is really about planting seeds and then helping them grow their own beauty within, correct? Am I putting words in your mouth?
No, you know, you're doing great, actually.
Am I making up your stuff for you?
No, you're doing wonderful there. No, that's really it, you know, because a lot of times everybody out there already has what it takes for them to become super successful in anything that they choose. Unfortunately, most people haven't had those parts cultivated. So all I do with them...
another grounding word, cultivated, right?
Exactly. And all I do with people really is help them find those seeds that are already there and help them grow them, help them really realize that they're there, show them how to water it, so to speak, how to feed it on a daily basis so they can blossom to be who they're supposed to be.
And there's another word, blossom. So really this does work for you. I mean, and that's perfect that we're sitting here like this because, frankly, what is more grounded than a rock, right? And sometimes the rock within, sometimes it's a bad rock, though, right? Where you have to kind of break up that rock and say, okay, that's a rock that's stopping you.
Exactly.
Do you work with people to kind of find those rocks and then help them figure out, okay, what are you going to do to be more open to something possible?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of people have so many blocks in their lives, they don't even realize that those things are stopping them from accomplishing what they want. So one of the first things that I do when I'm working with people is we identify those. And as soon as I realize what they are, it becomes really easy now to get rid of them because we now know what it is.
Right.
For most people, they're not even aware that those things are blocking them, so it's impossible no matter what they do to make changes.
So if you don't know what your blocking rock is, the block rock, I just made that up, then you're certainly not going to find that compelling passion that drives you. And I know that's one of your key elements of how you help people, is what is your compelling passion?
Exactly, and that's one of the things we want to help uncover, and part of the way to do that is by eliminating what's stopping you and getting you out of your own way, so to speak. Once we've done that, then we can now start pushing forward to helping you create what it is that you're passionate about.
And if you find that compelling passion, what do you get at the end of that journey, probably?
Oh my goodness, you can absolutely reach your destiny. You can totally take control and take charge of your destiny. Whatever happens is totally up to you. You can make it whatever it is that you want, whatever goals you have. It's magical. It's really, really nice to see. I love it. You know.
Here's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. And we have so many beautiful trees in the area where we live. And every time I look at a tree, I'm going to think about the message. Your message and frankly, you know, the message of nature as to what is it that we are meant to do. Is that a good thing to do? Kind of have some anchor points in the world and look how many trees there are we could choose.
Yeah, you know something that really gives you a completely different view of the world when you start taking it that way. I mean, we start becoming aware of what's around you and who's around you. You realize that your part here is really, really minute, but you can also do so much if you're willing to just reach out and give. I mean, when you think of the trees, for example, look at this big guy. Doesn't seem like it does much, but you know what? He provides us with all the oxygen that we're breathing right now.
That's right.
So nature doing what it does actually helps us survive and do all the things that we do. If we understand that and we come, you know, really, really one with that, what we can do for others is mind-boggling. How we can make a difference in this world is pretty powerful.
Lyonel, you are a true giver, and I appreciate knowing you so much.
Thank you so much. Awesome.